Welcome back to the Toon Squad Podcast, Season 2, We Don't Agree. On this episode, brought in Isaiah to talk superheroes. This episode, we are going to be talking Batman versus Superman, probably two greatest superheroes of all time.
True.
Yeah. So, why don't we just talk about why is the superhero your favorite?
Okay. I'll go first. Thank you for letting me go first. I'm glad to be here again. Representing the greatest superhero of all time. I think he's my favorite because he embodies a good feeling, like a desire to be greater. I think his abilities are interesting. I think that he is an interesting character that people don't give a lot of credit. I think that his costume is fun. I think the symbol is like iconic. I think that his nature is universally like respectable and like you can just, everybody wants to be like him. But I think that like his ability to be so good is like just what makes him like so unique from like other superheroes, that I think that it's a very special archetype that lasts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Superman, he's a great symbol, for hope, obviously. But I agree. Like his symbol for hope is like what people like look up to in a way. He's definitely like the older brother superhero for everybody. And everybody's like got something that they want to be like. They want to save people like Superman. He's just the superhero in a sense, kind of. Especially like in the DC universe, but honestly in the Marvel universe too.
Exactly, he's the superhero.
And then, my superhero that I'm arguing for this episode, Batman. Well, why is he my favorite? Batman is my favorite because he's a very, relatable, he's a human, obviously. Like, Superman, he's not human, so it's hard to relate to somebody like that, though you definitely, can, as we'll see in this episode, but Batman, it's like he's just somebody who experienced an event in his life that affected him enough to make him go after the criminals that affected him. So he just doesn't want to let that happen to anybody else, and so he just gave his life to it. So for everybody to have a happy childhood that he can influence and affect. And yeah, I just like that.
I think that's good. But Superman not being human, I don't know.
Exactly, and we're going to get into that in another one of these questions, but I guess we'll start off. What makes your superhero a true hero?
I think his humanity is what makes him a true hero. I think that it's hard to... yes, biologically he is not a human being because he is from Krypton, but I think the thing that makes him so relatable is his ability to have such incredible powers but still value humanity at the core of everything. And I think that his being raised on a farm and raised with a family who knows what it's like to work. He didn't have an elite. I think that's where Batman is I get it, but I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a billionaire. But I think the things that you can relate to with Batman is his struggles with grief, because I think every human being feels grief, and I think that Superman is able to feel that as well, but also struggle with maintaining a balance between being perfect, and because I think the weight of being a symbol weighs just as much on him. I think that Superman uses it as a tool like Batman does, because I think both of them are great, but Superman's just a little bit better, But I think that his humanity comes from his growing up and being able to fight. I think the best part is being able to see him fight giant space monsters and everything, but also take time to get a cat out of a tree, or help somebody who's struggling mentally, and just be there for people and be a friend. I think that's what makes him truly he's always there for you if you need him.
Exactly. I agree. Superman is definitely just exactly he fights those big monsters, but he's also in the streets, just he can hear everything. He knows what's going on, which is another great ability, because he hears somebody like, "Oh man, I'm having a bad day." He goes up, he's like, "Hey man, come on,
You want to get dinner?
yeah, let's go get dinner." And then I feel like he's definitely a hero in the sense that, like, yes, he has like superpowers and everything, and you know, unlike Batman, he's out there like most of the time actually risking his life, like all the time, which in my opinion is what makes him a true hero, is because he's likely to get hurt. Bullets are being fired at him, even though he does like most of the time have like bulletproof suits. So
he does get hurt most of the time.
And he does get hurt most of the time. I mean, like, talk like Nightfall, we talk Bane, how he literally like went on, because that's before bulletproof suits really, but he went on this whole run where Bane like tactically took him down by having him fight a bunch of superheroes. Bane, great villain. We could get into best villains, but yeah, and so he worked him down and then, you know, beat him up. It was like, it's a really good story. You should check it out, Nightfall. But that just shows like what makes him a true hero. And like Superman, he does sometimes, you know, like go to those people that are in the streets. Like, I feel like from that scene from like I don't know if it's Batman Begins or The Dark Knight or which one, but there's like a kid who's like, I guess his like parents are getting in an argument or something like that, and Batman's just like there. He's like, "Here you go, kid." And but yeah, so they're very both like down to earth in a sense, and for the people, like they're of the people. And I guess just Batman edges it out a little bit more for me because he's like more, I guess, like technically human than Superman. Because like you're like Superman, it's like it's a god. He could literally like snap me with with his fingers. But exactly, which makes like Superman's story for vulnerability like so special when you get into that, and as well for Batman. But because Batman's vulnerability is just all the time on the line, while Superman's is like more complex, I guess.
I think Batman's vulnerability is like a physical thing, but I think Superman has like an emotional vulnerability where like he cares way too much because, I mean, Batman cares, but a lot of it is kind of baked into like a revenge thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool, but I think that there's a lot more complexity to a character that's like, I think Superman's holding back a lot more than like you give him credit for. Or like, not you, but like you was in like
the audience.
The comic book, you know, fandom. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that gets into another question that we're going to talk about right here. So the next question. Who has had the most character growth? Like, so like, for their story, it's like, I feel like Batman has like, he went from like, it's like revenge, it's about darkness, to whereas like the comic slowly, like especially like with the blue and gray suit and with the Robins, it's like, it's becoming more about like creating what he lost, I guess, in a sense. And then like trying to give that to other people.
I think that's a fair point. I think I get that. That's a very interesting idea. I think that I really enjoy stories where he like tries to be more colorful and like more of a hopeful symbol than like a symbol of vengeance. Because okay, I love the vengeance sign. I am vengeance, blah blah. But like sometimes I'm like, man, I need him to just be a little bit happier.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes we need a different kind of Batman. Those moments are tough. You're at the end of what is that game? Batman Arkham Knight, and you're like, he's like in his head, you know, fighting Joker, and it's powerful. But we do need like exactly, that's my point. Like with that Batman, like I forget the exact comic year and everything, but like it's honestly like Superman and obviously the Robins, but like that inspire him to be better and to be like more about what people can look up to, which is why Superman is just such a good figure to like try and like be like Superman.
I think that's true. The question was the growth.
Yeah.
When I think of growth, I think Superman has stayed fairly consistent for a while, but he has changed early on a lot. He was a lot ruder in like some of the early drafts, but I think that the fact that he stayed the same isn't necessarily like a detriment.
Yeah.
I'd say that he's definitely gotten more like emotionally vulnerable whenever, because like when you're invented, he was like, that's kind of escapism, but eventually it kind of evolves into like, how does it went from like, oh, this guy's super strong and can protect everybody, to like he can protect everybody, but like why does he do it, and how does that weigh on him as a human being? And I think that there's an evolution in there, but I think that Batman, you can clearly track like different writers and their different intents with it, because it was definitely like they went from like a crime series to like, it still got that crime aspect, but once the villains get more and more like exaggerated, like Absolute Batman, that's not like a crime comic. I think that's like a crazy, like it's just to see how far they can push it, which I get is the point of Absolute. Yeah. So like I think Batman is a lot more versatile, but even Superman has had like Red Sun, which is great, which still kind of captures his essence, where it's like you may think that he's like so tied to American culture that like if you take him out of America, he's still once good. He's just manipulated by people. Like it's not that he was born in America or that he has American values, that's the reason he was. But I think that like a champion of people who can't protect themselves makes him is already such a complex baseline that I think that it was just like a storytelling gold mine that they hit. And I think Batman is also good, but like you have like the goofy era and then the Nolan kind of brought it to this groundedness. So I think I would definitely say Batman has more visible, trackable, like character moments, because he goes back and forth between gritty crime fighting to detective to fun guy. Like he has that goofiness to it, which I love. I low key am a sucker for like the goofy, like the blue and gray. I think that is kind of my favorite Batman, because it's like the most fun, because he can still wrestle with like heavy things, but he can also like admit that fighting a guy who sprays condiments is stupid.
Yeah.
Like, and fighting a guy that dresses like a penguin and has like penguin themed villains is kind of like weird. So I think when it doesn't take itself too seriously, that's when my Batman is usually my favorite. And I think Superman stories are usually always around that area.
Yeah.
Where they kind of play and they have a little bit more fun creatively, and I think that's why I like them. But enough about me.
I completely agree. I feel like I feel like Superman doesn't have a whole lot of character growth, but he has a lot. He's already in that vibe of like he has had, it's growth, just not in a growing direction, but like you could look at like Injustice, where like he changes. Not for the better, but he changes, and that's something for his character. They tried out a different area for him, and it was not it. So definitely just like some sort of Elseworlds thing. So, yeah. But I like the vibe that Superman has, where he's like, which is why I like James Gunn's Superman, because it's like more fully going into it. It's definitely like rooted in comic book. Like this is like trying to be the Superman that all those people saw when they were growing up and everything. But I agree. I want a Batman that has a lighter side, because we have these movies where it's all like dark and it's like awesome.
They have their place,
and we don't need them anymore. Like we have them now. Let's get some other ones. Which I like the blue and the gray. I just really like the blue and the gray suit. I hope James Gunn does that. I don't think he should do like all black again.
I don't know if he will. It depends. I think there's definitely a certain group who's not going to like it no matter what happens.
Yeah, 100%. But I would take like gray and black, like
True, a good middle ground. I think I'm really excited for the Batman Part 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Batman. Batman.
I think the Batman is a clear example of like the crime heavy side.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one's a little bit more detective, so it feels a little bit closer to its roots, which is why I enjoy this movie.
Yeah. And I don't like Robert Pattinson as Batman, but I like the elements and the vibe of the movie.
He gets to the hope bit at the end.
Yeah. I just don't like Robert Pattinson. I was never
just don't like Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson is my Batman. But he's a good actor. I'm not going to hate on him, but yeah. So we can get into the next question. It's a good question. Is fear or hope what the world needs to stop crime? Like, what's more powerful against crime?
That's hard. Because I feel like it depends. I feel like if you think of fear, I think from a standpoint, Superman knows that in the long term, fear only gets you so far. And I think that the hope is that other people will step up alongside you because you have set an example so that more good will come of it. And it's like kind of a building up of things. Whereas fear, it's like he's a one-man army. And I think that it's hard, which is why the Robins are so good, because he like kind of opens up a little bit and allows other people to kind of, take that with him. And I think that's why their duo is great, because Superman kind of brings that out of Bruce, or Clark. Clark brings that out of Bruce, where he decides to, be an example, not only to like scare criminals. He kind of finds a good middle ground, because I think you can't do just fear, because if you're just fear, it's like like you're an authoritarian, like you're telling people what to think and stuff. But when you're trying to just inspire people to do better and like be the best version of themselves and like, put themselves on the line for other people, it's like a beneficial thing for everybody. And I think that only good can come of it. I think you're going to struggle. I think it's a struggle I think that's what makes Superman impressive, because he could choose to scare everybody, but hope is to him objectively more powerful than fear, because if he's just forcing people to be good, then they're not like free. And I think that's an interesting aspect of his character. But I don't know, I'll let you tell me how Batman do.
I mean, I actually agree. I think that like fear, especially like, let's look at Superman's case. He's hopeful, but when like, and all this, like he's using hope to fight the criminals, right? Yeah. He only allows like for that, and then Joker kills Lois Lane.
Yeah, okay.
And then it's like you've seen how like just hope affects crime, and then he's like, all right, now fear. I'm gonna try fear, and then kind of like ruins the world. So, which is why I feel like Batman and Superman are needed together, because like you can't have one without the other, because I feel like they're both needed. A little bit of fear, a little bit of hope, because hope inspires people to rise up. It inspires civilians. It inspires other heroes. And then fear, like some people are just evil no matter what. Some criminals just like want to kill people, and the only way to stop them is fear. But it's just a great.
Did the fear stop the Joker?
Well, some people, it's like, I mean, Joker's afraid sometimes, but I've never seen him react like that to like things like hope,
Sure. I guess that's the thing. It's like, oh man, I think there's something good. It's a good feeling to watch Batman get back at him, because like if with the fear, it's kind of like you're like, yeah, revenge is like an easy thing to feel good about. But I think that the struggle that you have with like being hopeful is so fascinating, and I think that watching it affect him on like a mental level is very fascinating for Superman. And I think watching Batman and Bruce like struggle with trying to be hopeful when he's been so hardwired for revenge and like fear is probably when he's the most like interesting, because I definitely enjoy watching him kind of give in to like his anger, because obviously he's mad. He has a right to be mad, but I think that it's even better to watch. I think it's awesome to see his character kind of heal as he tries to be more hopeful, while like still using fear not as his like end all be all, but as a tool to give other people hope by stopping them from being criminals. But I don't know. It's definitely a little bit more effective in the short term to scare people off.
I mean, I agree. Superman definitely he's shows Batman like what he can be, and Batman has to fight against what he's always been. And it's like Batman's inciting fear into the criminals, but then he's also inciting fear into some of the civilians as well. So you can have a little kid who's just afraid of you, and you're trying to help him. I feel like Batman would see that and he'd be like, whoa, what am I doing?
It's like a double-edged sword where it's like, I think that Superman admires Batman's efficiency, but Batman admires Superman's outlook and his message, what he represents. And I think that they both kind of take from each other when they're next to each other. Mm-hmm. So Superman will be a little bit more rough, but not hurting people, but with I think it's interesting to watch them kind of, understand and respect each other's ideologies when they're like teamed up together.
It's a very interesting dynamic.
Dynamic. They're like the world's finest or something.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah.
Okay.
It's great. Gosh, what was I thinking about saying? I mean, what was I thinking about saying? I need to remember this. I mean, Batman, it's like you said, like when they're with each other, it's just like awesome to see, because Batman, like he looks at Clark and he's like, you have a great like mindset. Yeah. You have a great like hope for what the world could be, but sometimes you have to be realistic.
You have to get it done. Yeah.
Sometimes you have to be like, not everybody wants that for the world. And that's how like Superman, like he looks at Batman, Batman's like, he's efficient, he's sharp-minded, he knows how to be like, how to take out criminals in a sense. And he's like, I want that, but I don't. And then Batman's like, but you don't want that, right? Batman's like, you don't want to be like me.
Yeah, I don't think Batman wants anybody to be like him.
Yeah.
I think that's why Robin exists.
Exactly.
So, I mean, and that struggle is very compelling. I think that makes him a good hero. But, I don't know. What's the next question?
Yes, let's get into the next question. Did I ask this? Who holds better morals and why? Did I ask that? Okay, yeah. Who holds better morals and why?
I mean, I think morally, I think they're very similar morally, a lot more than like people realize. I think aspects of their morality are kind of baked into them, that at the baseline, they value humanity enough to do something about it. But I think that morally, I think Superman won't hurt like innocent lives. And I think for Batman, the line between innocent and criminal is kind of like either very hard. So like if you're just past this line, you're immediately like, I've seen, he like breaks those dudes' arms who are like just businessmen for like it's like, what if he never really did anything? He still broke his arm and like, interrogated information out of them. They're like grunts or whatever. So I think morally Batman operates in a more gray than in the gray.
Yeah.
So I think Superman has stricter morals. I wouldn't say that they're better, because I think they're very similar on what they believe about crime and like goodness. I think Batman believes that there's good out there. I think Superman knows that there's good out there. But I'd say their adhesion to their moral code is different. I think that Superman lives and dies by his code, because without his code, he's nothing. I think that like without his code and like what he represents, his whole mission like that he went on for his parents and like inspired by his parents to do the most good is like wrong. But I think Batman is less mutual good as much as it is like punishment for crime. I think Superman will punish them, but it's mostly like a rehabilitation thing, or like trying to put them in somewhere where they can't hurt anybody else and hopefully rehabilitate them. I think that his zoo is probably one of the coolest things ever, where he just like gets all these monsters and raises them to hopefully, keep them from hurting anybody. But I think Superman's morals are stricter. I think he holds himself to such a high standard because Superman to Clark, personally, I think Clark is Superman, and they're the same person because he's a human being. But I'd say that Clark's desire to put on Superman for the good of the world is strong enough to where he will like break before he does something that he thinks is wrong. And I think that that's where it shifts. Like Batman's willing to do whatever it takes to get crime gone because of the hurt. And I think there's a different hurt for Superman, but that hurt comes from being alone. And Batman's comes from like losing everything and then wanting to get something back for it, or like protecting other people. I don't think it's necessarily getting something back for it. I kind of messed that up, but I don't know.
I mean, I agree with you at points. I think Batman has he's willing to go, like, Superman is like, you can't be, like, breaking all these dudes' arms.
Yeah.
And that's great and everything. Because he's Superman. He can, like, threaten you just by, like, standing there. Batman's like a human. He's got to break arms.
He's got to break arms.
He's got to break arms most of the time. Sometimes, if he doesn't, he's like, hey. Like, he like, tries a Superman approach. He's like, I'm Batman. Right? And then, but I feel like he has a very hard line. He has his one rule that he does not cross. And if he has crossed it, it's in, like, similar to Superman. It's in, like, Elseworld storylines. But, though, I mean, I feel like Superman... He's like, if they're powerful enough, I gotta kill them.
Okay.
Like, I mean, you got Zod. In the Superman movie, I feel like
about that one.
let's talk about James Gunn's Superman movie. I feel like he killed Ultraman.
Oh, he did not kill Ultraman.
He like basically killed Ultraman, and then he was going to kill that one chick when he crashed into the ground.
Oh, she's made of nanomachines, man. She can't die.
He was like, you won't be able to sustain that blast.
No, he wasn't trying to kill her. He's trying to knock her out.
Yeah, Lex Luthor's like, you're going to die.
Yo, you know that meme? It's like, don't ever let Superman know you can take a punch. He'll try it.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously, he's got to knock these fools out.
Exactly. And so, like, if they're powerful enough, I feel like he's letting go. Okay. He's letting go of all that stuff that he's holding back.
Is that not awesome?
And that is awesome. I don't think it's not awesome. I just think, like, Batman's like, if I go over this line, like you said, he's nothing. Because he does all these dark things. So he's like, if I do that one thing, then I'm just like the rest of them. Okay. So he's like, it's just don't kill anybody. Okay. And, yeah. Do
you think that it's because he can or because he, like, can't physically make himself kill somebody? Like, that reel or whatever, or that Instagram thing where it's like, I don't think that... It was another podcast, I can't remember what it was, but he said that he didn't think Batman had the ability to kill because he was so scarred. And not because he chooses not to, but because he can't make himself. Because it's such, like, a traumatic experience for him. And I
agree with that to a sense. Like, okay. He... Obviously, like, I feel like he couldn't bring himself to, but then I've seen multiple times where he like has. Yeah. So it's like, I feel like he's only doing that because he's like, if I kill, it's just going to be like, it's like, I don't know, it's like an addiction, right? Mm-hmm. Like, why not just kill them if it's easier to do that? And Superman, same thing, Injustice. Sure. So it's like...
You just got to drop that one every once in a while.
Like, I mean, it's just like, if you go over the edge, it's just easier to snowball. Yeah. Batman and Superman, it goes against both of them. And that's where I feel like they're similar. They both, like, don't want to kill. I just feel like Superman, like, sees these, like, powerful people that are more on, like, his level. And he's like, I've got to let go a little bit. Batman's like, if I let go, I might as well be dead.
Yeah, I get it, yeah. I think that's fair. I think that's 100% fair. You know what? You're right. I agree. I think that Superman has to guard himself. But I think morality, I think they both just don't want to kill people. I think that is like their baseline is there's a value to human life. Because even Batman doesn't kill. Like, that's important because if he was killing, he'd just be like the Punisher.
Exactly. You cannot have a Batman that kills people. And Nolan kind of like narrowed the line because he's like, but that doesn't mean I have to save you.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, flies out of the train. I was like,
you just straight up killed that
guy. I feel like Batman would have saved him, like he does with the Joker. Like, there's that line. It's like in Arkham City, like Batman's like, every time I save you, you just break out and you kill again. Mm-hmm. And then Joker, stabs him, whatever, and then he's like, I would have saved you. And I was like, that's the hardest. That's the hardest Batman scene ever, hands down. Like, so far, that's the hardest.
Something funny. Even after everything you've done, I would have saved you.
That actually is pretty funny.
That's fair. And he did try.
Exactly.
Even in Arkham City.
Even in Arkham City, bro. But yeah. I feel like Superman overall like has better morals. I just feel like he's more likely to cross them when the need comes than Batman will.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
All right.
I don't think it's right, but I think it's hard. It's a fair. I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah. Agree to disagree. All right, here's the next question.
Okay.
Who represents DC more? Like, in a sense, popularity, but like, who is DC?
Pre or post James Gunn Superman? I think, man.
Because, I mean, Superman was the first.
True. He was their first, like, big seller.
Yeah.
He was, like, he came out 1935, 1937. And I think Batman came out 39, like, right, a few years later.
I feel like they made Superman, and they're like, we need a guy that's really we need a guy that people think they could be like.
I don't know. I don't know if I could be a millionaire.
That's true. There is one flaw to his humanity thing, and that's that he's in the 1%. But
he's a 1%er.
But that's why I like the classic Batman runs, because like he's like he could still be anybody. He's in like a suit, like not a suit, but like just like Superman. He's in some tights.
That's fair. But when it comes to representing the brand, I think especially after the Nolan movies and after all that, I think Batman became one of the biggest things because of his like humanness and his relatability. And you're like, yeah, Batman, give him prep time. It's like, okay, well, whatever. But I don't know. I think Superman represents comics as a whole. I think he represents like the base desire of comics in general. Like he embodies what they were meant for, especially in that era of like war. I think he's what heroes are supposed to be, and I think that's definitely a character archetype that has been done multiple times. But I think they nailed it on Superman, and I think that Superman and Batman are like so recognizable outside of DC that it's like, are we fitting them into DC, or are we fitting DC like into their like cultural, dominance? I think they've both outgrown DC symbolically, but I think in terms of like when you think of DC's big guys, I think Batman comes up before Superman just because of the amount of Batman stuff. I think that there's a lot more Batman stuff that is easy to access now than there's Superman stuff, because we haven't had a good Superman movie since 2025. But
for that like 10 years or something.
I mean, Superman Returns came out, it was pretty good, but like the best one, it was 1978. So
I mean, I liked Man of Steel.
I mean, I didn't like Man of Steel.
I like it when they try to look at different perspectives.
I can respect that he was trying something new.
Exactly. Like, people have been doing this Superman for years.
But, like, if you're establishing a new universe...
Yeah. Then that's all it's going to be.
I think that you need...
Or he could grow.
No. Character development. Forget that. Who needs that? But, yeah, I think Batman is more easily recognizable. But I think it's a very close gap.
I agree with what you were saying at first. Like, Batman, I feel like, is the face of DC. Like, I feel like it was Superman for like a long time, and then people just resonate with Batman more. It's just like, I mean, it really is. But like, you look at like comic book sales right now, they both had Absolute runs. Absolute Batman is clearing everything.
That's true.
Absolute Batman is clearing all of Marvel comics too.
That's
like
true.
if you look at those facts right now,
I think Absolute Superman is clearing out all.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, exactly. They have outgrown DC. They have like gone into
especially
like,
in comics.
Exactly.
Because I think Marvel has shifted to movies.
Exactly. Marvel is not trying as hard. I mean, when they do, like, look at Ultimate Spider-Man. When you try, you succeed. When you don't,
I mean, I've heard people only like the first few issues. That's not me. I'm not ready. I cannot make a claim. But
I read the first few. I like it. I think it's cool. I haven't gotten to what I feel like is going to be a controversial point yet. I have like seen it, and I'm like, I'm not there yet, but I will be. But I'm sure it is. And you know what? Great. Thanks for ruining a Spider-Man run, I guess. Another great superhero is Spider-Man in a future episode, I'm sure.
Maybe, we're dipping our toe into the Marvel game, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're starting with DC. We'll get into you, Marvel. But,
oh, man.
I mean, I just agree. I feel like Superman, when you think superhero, you're like, Superman.
Yeah.
What the superhero, like, values and everything embodies Superman. And then you're like DC, you're like Batman, clears. But
yeah, that's fair. Okay.
exactly. And then I guess like a question that we've been touching on in like every topic, it's like, how do they relate to that retriever? Like, why are they relatable? I mean, we feel like we've kind of said it already.
That's true. I think we've hinted at it. I think the thing that makes them both relatable is their humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be like Batman's vulnerability, and I think that is what makes him human and easy to relate to, because you're like, well, he's physically human. So like every other feeling associated with like pain and all that other stuff you put onto him. But I think Superman is just as vulnerable emotionally. I think that I enjoy very emotional stories because I think that's where you can explore very interesting things. And I think some of the best Batman stories aren't like fighting heavy. They're like emotional. And I think some of the best Superman stories are emotional and about how one accepts this responsibility. Because I think Batman kind of, he wasn't forced to become Batman because he was a millionaire. He could have just been a rich orphan and like become Bruce Wayne. Like, I think Bruce Wayne is like that identity that he built is not who Bruce Wayne is, but is what he could have been. But I think he chose to be Batman. I mean, that's kind of controversial. That's a little bit.
I mean, what I think is I think that like, I mean, Superman, he is thrown into a new world. I mean, he probably doesn't remember too much of it, but like, he's like, all right, I had these parents, I had this whole life, and they wanted me to come here and be a hero, and I'm raised by these humans with like these morals, and they're like etched into me, and it's like, I feel like this is my purpose. This is what I'm led to do. Mm-hmm. Batman, it's like,
I feel like he chose,
he like, it happened to him. He like, similar to Superman, he got like traumatized. His parents were killed right in front of him. I feel like he had to, in a sense that like, he was like, it started off revenge. He's like, I have to get revenge. I have to make the criminals of the city pay for like what they did to me. Mm-hmm. And I need to make this place safer. And then it slowly like turned into, he's like changing into somebody who's like choosing being like, I want to be a better person. I want to be a better hero. And I still want to be a hero. And it's like he said with like Bruce Wayne, he's like, this is the life I could have had, but that's not me. Mm-hmm. He's like, the mask is Bruce Wayne, not Batman. Batman is who I am. And it's perfect.
I think he's still Bruce.
He is still Bruce.
I think deep down there, I think
at the core, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
But the Bruce you're seeing is not that Bruce.
Because like I think the idea of being like, oh, I call myself Batman in my head is like, that's fun. But I don't know. I feel like we're doing Bruce Wayne dirty. You know, like the kid.
Exactly, the kid.
I think that is fascinating. Like Bruce Wayne, not the public personality, but Bruce Wayne the man. Like,
exactly.
Like, what is he thinking?
Does he enjoy?
Yeah, there's no way he's just like always in Batman mode. Like, there's no way you call yourself Batman in your head. Just like there's no way Superman calls himself Superman in his head. So I think that Batman is just so layered and like insecurity in that way. I think Superman's also like has insecurity, and I think that's what makes them so relatable is that everybody gets in their own head, and I think everybody puts up walls, whether it's Batman or Bruce Wayne, and I think that both of them are relatable in the sense that Bruce Wayne has to put on Batman and also put on Bruce Wayne, like, and put on the Playboy style. But Superman, I think at his core is Clark, and his heart. I think Clark is Superman. Yeah, I think that what makes him Clark made him Superman, and that is his love for people. And I think that like the humanity and his love for humanity, and I think that people can feel that love, and I think that is profound. And I think that people also feel like they feel spited by the world too, in a sense, like the same way Batman is. And I think that's also an emotion you can relate to. But I think that there's an honor in Superman that Batman has, but not like, I don't know. It's such a deep, like, it's an undescribable feeling that I get with Superman that with Batman, maybe it's just because it's like oversaturation, but like it's hard because Batman is like, I don't know. I think Superman is like, everybody wants to be the best version of themselves. And I think seeing Superman also struggle helps people feel just like, I am doing the best I can, and it's okay for me to struggle, but I'm still doing what's right by trying to be better.
And I agree. I think they look at Superman. They especially like now they're like Superman's. He like at the beginning, he's just a powerful guy. Nobody can stop him. We're gonna go nowhere. Kryptonite. Kryptonite. We need to give him something to fear, something like that he can be afraid of, and then other supervillains that are just as powerful as him could I guess take him out.
You think Superman's just scared of Kryptonite?
No, exactly. And I'm getting into that. I think Superman. I think Superman, like the way they have. I think he has character growth. I think the way that they have changed him over time, and like how he's been like, well, I look at these people, and he's like, I want to be a sense of hope, but they fear me. He's like, he is struggling with all these emotions because he is holding back so much. And then when people see that he's struggling, it's like somebody that powerful is struggling too. That makes me feel better about my own struggles. Yeah. It makes me feel more hopeful for myself. Another hope. But exactly. And
hope
I think
counter.
And I just think it is powerful. Superman's story is great.
I think but not to diss on Batman. Maybe I should give you this. I think you should be putting this on. But I think I don't know. It's just Batman also has that humanity. I think some of my favorite Batman moments are the moments where he becomes Bruce Wayne. In like he'll be full kit, but he'll like come to kids. I think that's why Robin is so good because the emotional moments between the crime fighting, because everybody likes to watch Batman kick butt.
No, I think the dynamic that you're speaking of is.
I think it's like so powerful to like. There's that recent run Batman and Robin with Chris Samney. I went to Booksmith and they had the full thing.
Oh, I need to get that one.
I got it and I read through all of it, and there are so many good Robin moments in that where it's like.
Is that the year one?
Yeah, when you realize that Robin is just a scared kid, and then Bruce is able to be like. Also a scared kid with him.
Bruce would be like, yeah, that's me too, bro.
Yeah,
I've been there.
Yeah. Oh, and like it's interesting to see how Bruce's struggle kind of trickles down into Robin's life. I mean, this may be spoilers. It's not like super spoilers, but this is just general. But like you can see how the front that Bruce puts on is he still like doesn't trust Robin to an extent. Like he wants Robin to become better, but he has trouble kind of showing his hurt to Robin because he won't like admit it to himself. And I think that is a very interesting, like a human aspect of his character that I think that, is very cool.
I feel like there's that too. And then there's also a part of it where like he wants Robin to be better than he is. Yeah. I feel like Robin is his like, this is what I could have been, but I'm not. And I think it's just so amazing. Like, I mean, they did it with kind of like all the Robins except for Tim. That's a different one. But like, he saw somebody in a similar situation to himself, and it's like what he always like wanted for everybody. And so he like pulled him up. He's like teaching him how to be a superhero, giving him the life that he wanted for himself. But at the same time, you're like, you're right. He can't trust Robin fully because he doesn't trust himself. Yeah. He doesn't like.
He hasn't wrestled with that yet.
Exactly. That's another great character growth thing.
That's why he's Batman.
Story. That's why he's Batman. And I think that a great comic run, The Court of Owls, is like, you're like, Batman's a loner. Batman's all by himself. And it's like, okay, let's look at what happens when Batman's by himself. Like, he loses everything, and he gets completely destroyed. It's like, okay, yeah, Batman can totally be on his own, and then he, like, just goes insane. He doesn't know who he can trust. Like, he's looking at Nightwing like Nightwing's an enemy. And it's like, that's not what Batman's about. And that comic run, I feel like, shows that Batman needs the people around him
just as much as they need him.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
But both characters relatable in their own ways.
That's true. I'm not saying one is not relatable. That's the last thing I want to say.
Let me see. I guess any final words on like why they are your favorite hero?
Maybe I'll plug some comic recs. This could be a good section. Comic recommendations for Superman. 1, All-Star Superman. Easy win, easy to find, it's cheap. I would recommend that to anybody. I think it deals with the emotional side of Superman and also has the big stuff too, where it's like you get him struggling with the fact that he might die, and then also like arm wrestling two of the strongest people at the same time and winning. And like, no, he goes he's fighting all these giant monsters like it's average, and it treats these extraordinary things as normal things to him, which makes it so fascinating. I think Grant Morrison, the author, talks about that. I would also recommend For All Seasons and Superman Birthright. Superman Birthright you can get in the compact as well.
Let's talk about DC Compact Comics, bro.
Oh gosh, they're so good. Half of these are like DC compacts.
Marvel just wants money, bro.
Their compacts are $25.
Yeah, they're
that
not.
is bullcrap.
DC, no matter the size, $10. And that's fair. Like, you get a fat one, $10. You get a skinny one, $10.
Exactly. Bro.
But they're making money, and they're doing it the right way. But yeah, any other Superman comics?
Let's see. Red Sun is good. These are little Elseworlds. I wouldn't say these are like good Superman comics. Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. That's a good one. It's got What Do You Get for the Man Who Has Everything? One of my favorite Superman comics of all time. It's from the Justice League show, like where he gets the flower. That's what that comes from. It has Mogul in it. And literally any Superman comic you can get your hands on. Watch the shows. Don't watch Man of Steel. Watch the new movie. Oh man. Any other reasons? I think he's cool and he's got great villains. See, there's a good.
Let's ask another question because I feel like it would be an interesting question. When did you when was the moment where you're like, this is my favorite superhero? If you can't remember a moment.
I think it was when I realized it wasn't Batman. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think at some point I was just drawing him all the time. And I wanted to collect his stuff. And I was like, man, I read these stories and I'm like, man, I feel good. And it's when I read a Batman comic, sometimes I'll finish it and I'm like, it feels like I've taken in diagram after diagram of crime family lore. And I'm like, whoa. But with Superman, I can be like, what does it mean to have absolute power and to yield it and to wield it? I mean, and then it's but he's also fighting a giant green monster. And it's a little goofy. It's it's lighthearted enough to where I can follow it and think critically, but also be you know what? And it made me feel good. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I do want to be a better person. I think, yeah, maybe I want to be a good person. And then I choose it and it's wow. But specifically a moment, couldn't tell you. I think when I watched Richard Donner Superman, when I saw Christopher Reeve on the big screen, that was emotional. I cry every time I watch Superman. It's the James Gunn movie. I think last time I watched it, I didn't get 7 minutes in, and I cried.
It's great. I mean, hey, real men cry.
That's true. Superman cries.
Superman cries.
He cries in one of my recommendations. You have to figure out which one it is.
Yep. For me, I feel like...
Do you have Batman recommendations?
Oh, Batman recommendations. Let's get into that. I mean, I feel like there's just when you're thinking of Batman comics, you can think of so many specific ones. Whereas when I was trying to get into Superman, right?
Yeah.
It's I can't even think besides Red Sun and besides All Star. It's I'm trying to think and they're all sort of niche. But I don't know.
Keep it niche.
I feel like they just need to broadcast them a little bit more. But I feel like James Gunn is doing that by making movies that really go into all those comics that are hidden out there. Because I want to find those comics. I want to read those comics. Yeah,
I think that it's weird because I think Superman just shows up.
Yeah.
He shows up, and I know Batman has the tendency to just appear.
Yeah.
But for Superman, he's always just showing up somewhere. Yeah, and it's hard because Batman's got all these huge stories, but Superman's kind of pops up.
Exactly.
Even in Hush. Superman
exactly.
shows up in Hush.
Superman's in Hush. Superman's in...
That's a compact, by the way. $10.
Superman's in the Death of Robin.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He shows up just to be hey, bro.
I can't save him.
Yeah. He's I can't save him, and Bruce, don't kill Joker. What?
That's crazy. Oh.
But yeah, and then also I didn't even know growing up, but when I actually read the comic, I did not realize Joker's in a foreign country, trying to take over the foreign country so that he can attack America. That's when you're whoa, okay, war was really affecting these comics at the time. He's he's in Afghanistan or something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that. A Middle Eastern
It's
country.
the 80s, so it's prime Iran.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah. But the Death of Robin. I mean, I feel if you're starting out, you should do
What's a good Batman origin? What is your quintessential Batman origin?
I mean,
What is a good one? I got it. Come on.
I love like the Long Halloween.
That's a good one. That's a compact as well. Shout out DC.
Give your recommendation so that I can be reminded.
Year one.
Year one, great.
That is like, if I could recommend.
I mean, it's smaller. it's a lot, but read Year One.
It's pretty old. It's from like the 90s and 80s. I think that's like if you like, if you like Christopher Nolan's movies, you'll like Batman Year One.
The Batman Year One, there's Long Halloween. You read Long Halloween, you're reading Dark Victory. Don't. And then that gets into the Robin dynamic. Like, read these comics. I know James Gunn is doing a new Superman movie off of like a newer Batman run with Damian Wayne. I can't remember the exact name of that. Batman and Son, I think. Something like that.
I think so.
And Red Hood, Killing Joke. Like, you need to, like, all these bangers, they're out there waiting. And honestly, read Last Night on Earth because
that's a fun one.
I feel like that's more of a hidden gem, and it's actually like it is fun, especially the end. The end is like actually hilarious, but yeah, so many good comic runs. I'm trying to think of any more.
What is the thing we were talking about before I interrupted you? Oh yeah, your first moment.
Oh yeah, my moment. No, but I'm glad you did because I needed to get close. Out there. My moment.
Your Batman moment.
I feel like I grew up, and it's like I'm surrounded. Obviously, big family, if you didn't know. Surrounded by, like, my older siblings, and I feel like a couple of them like Batman, but, like, I mean, one of my brothers in particular, I, like, hung out around him more, and he really liked Batman. And then I was like, let's check these out. And then I'm surrounded by all these Christopher Nolan films. And I'm like, these movies are freaking baller. And then as I grow up, I'm like, yeah, Batman's my favorite super. I'm playing these games. I'm playing the Arkham Trilogy, Lego Batman.
I would have thought it would have been Lego Batman.
Playing Lego Batman. It's like, I mean, honestly, probably, I know I played a lot of Lego games as a kid. I probably was introduced to, like, Lego Batman. I feel like I resonate more with 2, but I definitely played Lego Batman 1. And I feel like Lego Batman 2 is just the best. But,
Lego Batman on the DS. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot beat those games. I mean, it etched into my childhood. But I feel like as I grew up, for sure, it, like, hit me when I'm, like, watching these movies and I'm, like, actually, like, starting to, like, resonate with the character. And I'm, like, especially as a kid, I'm like, I want to be a better person. I want to, like, I remembered I want to be, like, a cop at one point. I wanted to be, like,
I remember that.
A doctor.
I remember that era.
Yeah, I was like, I want to, like, help people. I was like, today, I'm going to help people. I literally did that, like, in middle school. I was like, I want to do one good thing today. I want to hold the door for somebody. I want to do that every day. And I don't know how far I got, but I definitely did it for a while. And I feel like that Batman was the key. And like, he's what made me want, like you said, want to be a better person. And then as I grew up and I'm like reading all of these stories, especially now, like I just want to read more and more Batman stories because I just want to understand them more. I want to see all that complexity, like how I can relate to them, you know, like with grief, really there, pain, everything. It's like, I love seeing this character. I love just everything about it. It's great. And I love Superman too. And I'm reading more into Superman now because like Superman's easily top 5 superhero now. I used to kind of like poop on him.
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I used to kind of poop on him because I was like, Superman, Batman versus Superman. But yeah. Well, here's like a little spice question.
Spice question.
Batman versus Superman prep time, or no prep time. I feel like once they made Kryptonite, it was like Batman always has that on him. Like, okay, no prep time. He's got a utility belt. Let's talk about the utility belt. It can hold, like, everything in existence. He's got kryptonite in there. He's like, okay, no prep time. Yeah, well. It's like, I feel like that argument is just so, like, I feel like these arguments are better when we're talking about the character rather than just, like, winning a fight.
I think that the prep time argument for Batman is just, it's just the easy way to have an argument. I think that what like Stan Lee said about other characters, like who would beat the Hulk, I think that applies to DC as well, where it's like whoever the writer says will win. Yeah. Like, you can argue all this time and you can bring up evidence of different comics. And like, it's fun. I think the discussion is fun. But has it been done a lot?
Exactly. And then it's like the end of the day. You're like, Superman wins because of this. And then the next day they like come out with a comic and it's like Superman gets his butt whooped. And it's like, okay.
It's like, you know what? Maybe neither of them win.
Maybe that's not the point.
I think that, you know, the question always comes up, like, would Superman even want to kill Batman?
Yeah.
Because of how strict his, or like, would he ever fight Batman? Because
I don't feel like Superman would ever kill Batman because he's not, like, when I was saying earlier, like, that to be powerful enough. I don't think Superman's ever viewing Batman as, like, somebody who's, like, he's powerful enough to push me to my morals.
Yeah. I think
even with Kryptonite.
He knows that, I think he knows and respects that Bruce's adherence to his code is just as strong as his adherence to his. And I think that that's why they kind of operate and they show up within each other's stories so much is because, like, they're, like, practically the same.
It's like a parallel, like, different path, same hero.
They're the same hero. I think that is a good way to describe it. They are the same hero deep down. Like, they are the same at their core, that they want to protect people. And I don't know. I think making them fight is kind of...
It's cool, but it's like, that's not...
At the end of the day, how did we learn? What did we learn?
Yeah, we want to talk about what's really important.
Yeah, we're here for the real versus their ideas.
Yeah.
And even their ideas.
Exactly.
Not even. See?
Gosh.
So now...
Bruce and Clark. Superman and Batman. It's just great dynamic. It's
dynamic,
so great. Yeah. I guess I'll ask the age-old question.
Did you change your mind?
Yeah. Did this conversation change your mind?
No.
I don't know if we're ever going to have a video that does, but...
I don't know, maybe one day. And I'd hope to be here.
Yeah.
And I would see it.
Or maybe one day you're going to realize Batman's better and you're going to come to me and you're like...
Please, re-record the episode. Please, let's redo it.
I'd gladly be like, yes, let's go.
You know what? I can respect Batman.
And I 100% respect Superman.
But I think he's better. I think Superman's better.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Batman's better, but, like, I feel like especially after meeting my good friend / relative here, I feel like my views on Superman have completely changed. So
I'm going to give you some comics and then maybe you'll switch sides. You'll come back into me.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even really collect comic books before, so yeah. Talk about how conversations change a person, so that's what this show is all about.
Y'all gotta buy comic books.
Yeah, now you guys.
You guys gotta go buy comic books. You ain't got $10.
$10.
You ain't got $15.
$10. Here's a compact comic. Here's a compact comic.
Bang.
Everywhere.
You can get so many good Batman stories and Batman and Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Plug that one. That's in my collection because it rocks.
It rocks. But yeah, so this has been a great, one of my favorite episodes of We Don't Agree so far. I think it's like season 2, episode 4. So
4.
Yeah. Dang. So I think we'll catch you in the next episode. I think we're looking at maybe some more basketball coming up, but maybe some more superheroes too. I'll discuss with my friend here about some Marvel episodes because these are really fun. But yeah, so we're touching in video games. We're touching in tell us if you want to see some Red Dead in here. All right.
Okay.
Tell us if you want to see some Red Dead in here. But yeah, we're gonna touch in video games, superheroes, and basketball. I feel like that's the core of what this is all about. But yeah, so we'll catch you in the next episode. This has been the Toon Squad Podcast Season 2. We Don't Agree, and we'll see you next time.